Canadian Arctic and the
Yeah,
development there. It's even boiling down to getting to some
pretty
land
much.
disputes
I
between
actually
Canada
agree
and
with
the
him
US.
on
But there was
this
just a multi-billion-dollar
quite a
announcement from
bit
an American
because it
company that
seems
has to do
like
with
we are
Canadian
not
infrastructure, and
compatible
allegedly there's hundreds of billions of
with
dollars worth of
Europe.
projects and investments on the sidelines right now.
I actually 100% agree with him on this. We are not compatible with Europe anymore. We have gone beyond Europe. And I want to work with Canada a little bit more if we could. So let's hear what this man has to say. Thank you.
Trying to develop Canada that are being held back. And with all of the talk around the trillions of dollars in NATO spending and the missed opportunity for what could be a partnership between Canada and the US, protecting the sovereignty of both nations and building up both economies, we're going to be talking about some cool, fun stuff today towards the end of the video that needs to be discussed. Because if we can shut down Operation Curry Bomb, focus on these new ideas, we can shift on where the trajectory of the economy is headed. It would be such an amazing thing for the domestic populations. There's a lot to talk about in today's video, so let's get into it. Now, you guys might have seen some of these clips already, and it's funny that Trump is under fire right now for a few of these statements. When the clip I have after this, where the Canadian government is talking about investment and development in the Arctic, the Canadian media are the ones saying that the U.S. seems more like a threat than an ally.
He's really gotten right as the immigration because he allows nobody in his country. And Poland has done a very good.
Now, explain to me, and I'm an American citizen, is the United States a threat to Canada? Because those leaders up in Canada have no idea. We have underrode their security for so long, and now we are basically being said we're a threat and we are becoming authoritarian, etc. Yeah, I'm furious as hell at NATO, etc. Because they screwed us over. So I don't see what the hell they're talking about, but that's just me.
Job in that respect too. But most European nations, they're decaying. They're decaying.
You can imagine some leaders in Europe are a little freaked out by what your posture is, and European.
No, they should be freaked out by what they're doing to their countries. They're destroying their countries.
Well, European Council President.
Yeah, that's the funny thing to me. That it's the Europe is a little freaked out about your language. Maybe they should be freaked out that their entire countries are getting erased.
Well, I like. Look, they're people I like. I get along with them. You know that. But they can't let this happen. And it gets to a point where you can't really correct it. There'll be a point, and it's very close to that point.
And what will that mean?
It will mean that they're no longer going to be strong nations.
Does that mean they won't be allies
Or
anymore?
they'll be, well, it depends, it depends. They'll change their ideology, obviously, because the people coming in have a totally different ideology.
And I don't think how anything he's saying is controversial there. He's saying if the local populations are entirely erased and the ideology is changed and they're no longer the nations that they were before, we're going to have to reconsider the relationship as they're no longer strong nations. Like, everything he's saying is very reasonable and it's based in reality. And that's why, again, with all of his statements about the subversion and how the nations could get weaker, that's why we need to keep the pressure on about the H-1Bs, the temporary foreign workers. Definitely Operation Curry Bomb in the U.S. as well.
It's going to make them much weaker. They'll be much weaker, and they'll be much different.
What will that mean for our relationship with?
This will be a very fundamentally different world here in about the next few years if we continue down this road. And I shit you not, the world is taking a crap on the United States. It is not right. And I say this respectively. It is not right. And I hope and I pray people wake the F up. Thanks.